Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is AJ speaking. How are you all doing today? I am back, by the way. Well, I've not really gone, to be honest. I was always here, so back to making videos. It's a bit of good news today, guys. This film has just been released in UK, and I'm going to try and see it this weekend. There's only, I think, a few cinemas that are actually showing this in UK. So I've already booked my ticket, so I'll be watching it tomorrow, and I'll give you guys a good review. So talking about film reviews, guys, I was thinking maybe I should keep the filming and the politics separate because a lot of my films that I do review here, I get a lot of people who subscribe because of my film reviews. Then they listen to my politics, and I get a lot of comments like, you bastard, you tricked me. I didn't know this was a Chinese shield channel. Or, what the hell is this? I came here, I subscribed to you thinking it's a movie channel, and now I'm getting all of these CCP propaganda. And all these people like, oh, I'm unsubscribing now because you're a China lover. So, so I'm thinking maybe films and movies and politics don't mix because yeah, you do get a certain type of people who are interested in film, and they probably don't want to listen to any politics, or they don't want to hear in politics. I'm talking about the Western market. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a separate channel, and I'm going to try and review films. It's going to be I'm going to try and do more Chinese films, martial arts films as well, because I love martial arts films, and a bit of geek culture like Marvel and comics, comic book films, superhero movies, things like that. So I'll keep it as a separate channel, keep it as a hobby, and I'll keep this mainly as a politics channel. So what do you guys think? I think it's a good idea, to be honest. I'll keep both of them separate. So I'll send you a link to my new channel very soon. So if you guys can subscribe to it, that'll be good. Let's at least get a few numbers up to that channel. So without further ado, guys, let's carry on with the show today. Before I start, I want to thank everyone for all the support they've given me last few days. I was thinking of leaving, to be honest, but with all you guys' support and everything, I won't be going anywhere, mainly because I really think you guys didn't love me, to be honest. I thought I would just disappear and nobody would miss me. So with the amount of support that I had, I was just totally, moved. Even my missus was surprised, and she was like, bloody hell, you got more people who love you more than me? I was like, yeah. So yeah, guys, it's good. It's all good. Yeah, I had no idea that I had so much support from you guys. I really had no idea. I thought I was just doing things for fun. You guys were just listening to me, and if I go, you won't even miss me. So it's really good to hear, really good to see. I really appreciate everything, guys. So I will be carrying on with the videos and stuff. So don't you worry, I'm not going anywhere. And so let's continue with the show. I've talked enough about it. So I want to kind of go back to the summit between President Xi and Mr. Joe Biden. I'm not going to call him a President Joe Biden because that's how lowly I think of him at the moment. So Mr. Joe Biden and President Xi had a absolute useless summit where things were discussed, and I just don't know why a summit had to be done over teleconferencing. I mean, I guess it's a start. So this is one of the things that came out of it. US-China reach agreement on issuing visas to journalists. And I think, personally, I think this is something that the Americans have won. I think China has lost on this one because, guys, all of these journalists that go into China, you're talking about American journalists, you got British journalists like that guy John Sudworth. All they do in China is just spread fake news, and that guy John Sudworth guy is spreading fake news about concentration camps, and that's all they do right now. And you see, with the way the market is at the moment in America, it's all anti-China stuff, and anti-China stuff sells. So all you're gonna get is a big army of journalists coming to China to talk crap about China. They're not gonna speak anything nice. I mean, let's face it. If you try and put a nice article about China, if you're in a say you work for the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times, you try and put a nice article about China, you're just gonna get your ass sacked. They're gonna say, "Oops, sorry, we don't need you. We don't need the likes of you. You're probably paid by China, so get out of our office." But if you write something bad about China, then you're like, "Yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, I have a promotion. Here, have some money." That's how it is, and that's the culture we're in at the moment. I think this was maybe a bad idea on China's behalf. So I don't definitely agree with this. I think that's just going to open a big can of worms. More journalists are going to come to China. More journalists are going to chat shit about China, and even like the British ones as well. So a lot of them have actually run off to Taiwan, and rightly so. So I just think this is a bad idea. So you got this story apparently came up as well. This story basically says that US China agreed to hold arms control talks. And when I looked at the transcript of the talk between President Xi and Joe Biden, I don't see any arms control talks. So I was kind of looking around. I couldn't find anything. Then I saw a video by Alexander Marconis, and even he did his research as well. And he couldn't find any agreement that this was discussed or anything like that. And recently there was an article in Global Times even, and I think it's just fake news, guys. People in America are just posting and writing whatever they want. They're trying to put a spin on things. They're trying to say, look, Joe Biden's speaking to the Chinese. We've got what we wanted from this summit. Basically America has won. We basically, we got what we wanted from the summit. The summit wasn't a loss. We got, what we wanted from China. And I think it's just complete fake news. There is no way, guys, there is no way in China's life or anybody in China that would agree to this. Reasons is, can you see the amount of anti-Chinese rhetoric that's going on with the American ships that's sailing around the South China Sea, the European ships sailing around the South China Sea, all of this war talk that's going on, how America's going to nuke China, how America's going to come into Taiwan's aid, all of this war talk going on in America, all over America. They want to, they want to attack China. They're calling it war on China, and then you want China to reduce their arms or have arms control talks with the US. Get over yourself, guys. Get over yourself. Seriously, you really think China's gonna agree to reduce any arms, any nuclear weapons in this situation? No way. Absolutely no way. Maybe in the future, when the Taiwan situation is resolved and things are better relations between the US and the West and China, then maybe then they can start doing these arms control talks. But definitely not now. No way. And I remember Global Times being very, very angry about this. And a lot of Chinese angry about this, and rightly so. It's completely fake news. You know what I mean? They don't know where this story has come from, and there is no way President Xi would agree to anything this bad. There is no way. So I think it's just fake news coming from America, like everything else. Like you call these fake news, like concentration camps and Uyghurs and all sorts. So it's absolutely ridiculous, guys. There is no way China would agree to anything like this. I mean, America's got 6,000 nuclear weapons and China's got probably less than 500. There is no need to have these arms control talks. If and when one day China has 5,000 nuclear weapons and America's got 5,000 nuclear weapons, then they can talk. They can sit down and talk as an equal. But not now, guys. So what America's going to be like, oh, we're allowed to have 6,000 nuclear weapons and you're allowed to have only 250. Is that fair? There's no way that's fair. So when a war comes along and America starts throwing all of these thousands of nukes at China, and China can only fight back with only a handful. It's not fair in this situation at all. So I don't agree with this as well, and I think whatever this kind of stuff is, it's just fake news coming from America. So I saw this story as well. White House joins calls demanding China proves missing tennis star Peng Shuai. So there's a Chinese tennis star who's gone missing in China. I just don't know why the bloody White House has got involved with it, because how many people go missing in America, right? How many people actually go missing in America per day? Thousands and thousands of people go missing in America. And, a tennis star goes missing in China, and the White House is accusing the Chinese government of something to do with it. What if I'm sure she'll come back safe and sound. What if she's like having a rest or having a break? What if she's, maybe under lockdown or something? Maybe she's got coronavirus, or maybe, she's just wants to stay away from the media and stuff, because apparently there's been some rape allegations and things like that. So maybe she doesn't want any part of the media circus around her. So maybe she just wants a break from it all. And all of these, people in the West and the White House are going crazy, and they're like, we demand you release, what, like the Chinese government's got anything to do with it. So if someone goes missing in America, is China gonna go to the White House and say, like, I demand you to, release this person? It's ridiculous. These are all individual cases. Anything could happen to an individual person. It doesn't mean the Chinese government's involved with it. So maybe if something has happened, it's happened, without government's knowledge. It's got government's, they think of this as like a North Korean regime where people go missing. I mean, look at the Saudi Arabians. Even they chop up reporters. They chop them up, and that's what they do. And China's not like that. So it's crazy how the West just jumps into conclusions without any evidence, without anything. They just immediately jump into ridiculous accusations and stuff like that. It just drives me nuts when I see things like this. I mean, there was a story about a Chinese student in a campus who got killed recently. And what did America do about it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Did they find the killer? No. They do nothing for all of these Chinese students who are living abroad, who are studying abroad. They're all in danger. They get beaten up or killed. And what does American government do about it? Nothing. And now they pretending that they care about Chinese people. Oh, get on your high horse, mate. Go. Seriously, this is ridiculous. So I wanted to kind of this is the article where Global Times is talking about US trying to dictate to China about nuclear arms control. And obviously, I've read the article. I'm not going to go through it with you, but basically they're saying, you're having a laugh, aren't you? It's absolutely ridiculous. So this is another article I saw, guys, about the state of America at the moment. And I don't know if many of you know much about drugs, but fentanyl seems to be the number one drug killer at the moment. And what fentanyl does is absolutely horrendous. It's one of the worst drugs you can take, guys. Seriously. Basically, it's so bad, right? It stops your body, stops your cells from breathing out carbon dioxide. So it doesn't convert oxygen to carbon dioxide or something really, really bad at a cellular level. So the chances of you dying are very, very high, especially with overdose. And, well, it sounds absolutely disgusting. Imagine your body not producing carbon dioxide and not converting the oxygen into carbon dioxide. Your whole body would just, imagine what would happen to your body. It would just, you would die very horribly by the sounds of it. So in the 12-month period, you can see here, that ended in April, more than 100,000 Americans, a record number, have died from overdoses. And I believe this number is going to go even higher, mainly because this is a a graph that's been growing for the past 5 years. Every year, a number of Americans die from this drug, and this last year it was about 70,000, and this year has gone up to about 100,000. And it's very, very lethal, and it's been taken by a lot of homeless people as well. Homeless people who kind of want to escape reality, so they kind of get into heroin, and they take a lot of these heroin that's kind of laced with fentanyl, and most of them don't even know what's in it, and they just kind of inject themselves and die. And because of the COVID situation at the moment, and because of the American healthcare, as you know, a lot of these homeless people don't have healthcare or anything like that. It's very difficult to get the help. And a lot of people die of overdoses because they can't get the help, or they're in the tent in America, in the homeless tent, and they take it and nobody knows they're dead until they find out in a few days later. It's absolutely dire, the situation in America. So many homeless people out on the street, so many people taking drugs, and this is the situation America is today. I mean, this is supposed to be the number one richest country in America, richest country in the world. They're supposed to be the beacon of hope, the American dream. When America was, first had independence, they said every single human being would be equal. Are they equal now? You got all of these billionaires getting more richer, and you got the poorer people getting poorer. You got the middle class getting even more poorer. I don't see any American dream here. I just see an American nightmare. And it's just a really sad situation how America has become. And what they need to do is, and everyone knows why America is in this state. They're fighting too many wars and not thinking enough about its people. So imagine how many people have died in America needlessly this year. So there was another statistics how 750,000 people have died from COVID. So you got 100,000 people here. So 850,000. That's close to like 1 million people who have died needlessly. I'm talking needlessly. I'm not talking about murders or other forms of deaths that happen where you don't really have much control over it. But needlessly, in terms of COVID deaths, this could have easily been avoided. When Trump was on power, he could have easily have stopped the borders. He could have started putting lockdowns on cities and things. He didn't do anything like that. Instead, he was coming on Twitter and was coming up with ridiculous things about try and drink bleach. He was saying that all of this COVID stuff is made up. It only happens in China and doesn't happen in America. And he's telling people to drink bleach and ridiculous stuff. Bush was saying when this virus was starting in America. So if he did something then in the beginning, he would have avoided all of these deaths. Even these fentanyl deaths can be avoided, guys. They need to do something about these homeless people, about the poor people, the middle class. If they stop spending so much money on the military and the wars around the world that they're doing, and start looking after their people for a change, then maybe America will become a better country. But no, they're still fighting this imaginary war with other countries. First it was Vietnam, that I can remember. Vietnam, then Middle East, and all of these other countries. Now it's China, the big bad. I mean, before it was like Russia, even now it's Russia. But they always need an enemy. They always want to make an enemy. They got Iran, North Korea. They need an enemy so they can sell their weapons and make money from weapon sales and increase their budget for. It's crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. So I want to kind of go into kind of UK right now, and there's a big story about how HS2. I made a video about this a few months ago about how HS2 costs have just escalated. So initially they wanted to spend 20 billion, but last year the costs have gone up to 120 billion, and these are basically fast trains going from London to other parts of UK, like Manchester, Leeds, for example. So all of this, So 120 billion, and these are not high speed trains like you get in China or in Japan, guys. Nothing like that. These are trains that go maximum 100, 150 miles an hour. And I was comparing the times that it takes from currently from London to Birmingham and how long it would take from London to Birmingham with these HS2 trains. And you would only save 20 minutes. 20 bloody minutes you can save just 120 billion you spend and just to save 20 20 minutes on the train. It's absolutely ridiculous. These are not even the latest technology trains. These are not maglev or anything like that like you have in China. So it's a complete waste of money, guys. Complete waste of money. And now they've run out of money doing this, and now they're scrapping half of the line. So from London to Leeds or Manchester to Leeds, it's been completely scrapped, and that's half the line. And the people obviously in those cities are not very happy because Boris came on stage a few months ago saying, "Oh, we're going to level up the rest of the country." When he says level up, he means the rest of the country is going to be just like London, very, they're going to put a lot of money into it, infrastructure and things like that. And now he's completely forgotten about the northern part of this country, places like Leeds and stuff like that. And he says, "Sorry, I can't help you now. We have to cut back because we're spending too much money." So they've run out of money, wasted all that money, and they're still got to pay the 120 billion, by the way, because most of the work has already been done. So all of that money is pretty much gone to waste. They've got half of the lines available. And if you look at this line, can you compare what they're spending 120 billion for? Half of this line. So the ones in blue is what you're going to see completed. The ones in red is what's going to be cancelled. So this line in blue, China probably completes it in like a month. And if you look at China's country and China's high-speed rail, if China spends 120 billion on the high-speed rail, they could connect like 20, 30 cities, over like 1,000 kilometers. But here, we're talking about only, I think 200, 300 kilometers here between London to Birmingham, and then between Birmingham to Manchester, another 200 kilometers. So we're not talking about a huge amount of distances, guys. The money goes on. The money goes on. It's just a waste. I don't know why they don't get some Chinese contractors to do this job for them. It would be much cheaper. But no, they don't want to involve China in their infrastructure work apparently because of all this anti-Chinese hate going on. But look where they are now. They're just become a laughing stock, absolute laughing stock. And once these trains are complete, we're talking about the current trains from London to Manchester cost £180. That's more expensive than a flight, than anything else in UK. So why would someone pay £180 for a go from London to Manchester? Now you're making something more expensive and more. You're making something more expensive and more faster, which is going to go to Manchester. But if the current train's £180, what do you think the new trains, HS2 trains, are going to cost? They're going to cost much more because they're going to want to get this money back somehow. So they'll probably charge ridiculous amounts, £200, £300, £400, £500, because they want to get this money back. And if £180 is the cheapest ticket from London to Manchester, so how much do you think they're going to charge for these new HS2s? It's going to be ridiculous prices. No one's going to even go on them. And just to save 20 minutes, you're not saving hours from your trip, you're saving only 20 minutes. These are not fast trains, these are not maglev trains. Absolutely ridiculous, guys. Britain is just gets me angry. So you can see here Joe Biden is considering boycotting 2022 Winter Olympics in China. So this bloody snake, right? He goes into the summit with President Xi. One day later, he talks about boycotting China in the Winter Olympics. I mean, what an absolute snake. Seriously, what the hell does he think he is? Absolute snake. 1 minute he's smiling and joking with President Xi. "Oh, alright mate, how you doing? Yeah. Blah, blah, blah." Next minute, he just wants to boycott China, and basically it's politicizing sport, guys. And one thing you don't do in this world is politicize sport, and this is what exactly what he's doing. And to be honest, China doesn't need them. He can boycott if he wants. China doesn't need to invite this old fool and all of his, cronies from the Congress or Senate. China doesn't need them. All they are a bunch of anti-Chinese bigots, really. And all they do is just going to chat shit. So if they want to come, they can come. If they don't want to come, I don't think China cares. And they're not going to get any invites anyway. So just screw them, I would say. Absolutely screw them. So Britain, as you know, the running dog of America is, basically saying the same thing. The little poodle of America. Whatever America does, Britain, you can pretty much more or less follow. So I don't think China cares about Little Britain anyway. That's what China calls Britain, Little Britain, which is a very very good way of talking about Britain now. So another story has come about where there was an F35 jet, a UK RAF F35 jet, went and fell into the sea and it's disappeared. So the UK has been trying to find it for like a week now. It cost 120 million, and the UK doesn't have many of these. So this basically fell into the sea, and they're spending a week trying to find it. They can't find it, and now they've asked the Americans for help. They've asked the little poodles have asked America, "Oh, please, can you help us? We've lost one of our planes. We don't want the plane to go into enemy hands like the Chinese or the Russians. So please help us." And now they're going to spend a lot more money trying to recover this plane. So if the plane costs 120 million, imagine how much it's going to cost them to recover all of this, and how much they're going to have to pay America to help them recover it. We're talking about 400, 500 million is all of this cost is going to cost just for losing a bloody plane. So Britain, again, stupidly losing money, especially around the military parts of it, when it should be spending money in its own, infrastructure like HS2, instead of cutting the HS2 in half, saying, "Oh, we can't afford it anymore." Do you know what I mean? But they can afford all of these military actions around the world. They can send their ships and planes around the world and start losing them and start looking for them and spending money there. Absolutely ridiculous, guys. Seriously, I'm just sick of it. And this stupid woman, I mean, not many people know this. This is our Home Secretary, Priti Patel. I mean, look at her face. That is one face you don't want to mess with. And again, she's also chatting the anti-Chinese rhetoric and stuff like that. Nobody likes this woman. Even I don't like her. I mean, everything that comes out of her mouth is just shite, absolute shite. She just doesn't know what she's talking about. And this woman, right? She's now given the power to remove British citizenship without notice. So if you're a British national, she's got the power now to remove your citizenship. It doesn't matter if you were born here or how many years you've lived here, what you've done for the country. And the funny thing is, guys, this woman came here as an immigrant herself. Her parents were immigrants, refugees. And this woman is now basically doing this to other refugees and other immigrants coming here. It's absolutely just hypocrisy at its finest. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. This woman is so hypocritical. Nobody likes her. Again, China, all this anti-Chinese crap. I mean, nobody even listens to her anymore. This whole government is a joke, guys. Absolute joke. So that's all for today, guys. That's all I wanted to say. Let me know what you guys think, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video very soon. Thank you very much.